While everyone else was chasing those trophy room ones a few weeks ago, I was trying my hardest to secure a pair of these, the Air Jordan 1 High 85 neutral gray. I entered all the raffles. I had friends and family entering the raffles. No luck. Sneakers app, I took an L there as well. There have been a lot of Air Jordan 1s, both rumored and announced for 2021, and a lot of them, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, are gonna be an easy pass for me because I'm just not interested in them. But this one I really wanted to get my hands on, so I knew I was just gonna have to cough it up and pay resale. So that's exactly what I did. I went to eBay. I did a whole video on my experience. You can go check it out if you want to see how eBay stacks up to both StockX and GOAT. Retail on this release was $200. I paid $440. Sneakers are gonna be worth whatever somebody is willing to pay for them. But today I'm gonna be getting into the sneaker with y'all. I'm gonna do it on foot, and I'm gonna tell y'all if I think that $440 was well spent. Let's start with the obvious, the 85 cut. I have never had a pair of 85s in my collection. I've never held a pair in hand, so there's no nostalgia there for me. It's just an appreciation that I have for the shape, and that's why I wanted these in the collection, because it's something that I never thought that I would have, that these would re-release and in my size at that. And I wanted to make that clear because I think sometimes people get confused, especially on YouTube, between nostalgia and appreciation. Nostalgia for me would be like Jordan 3s, Jordan 11s, 8s, and 5s, because that's what I saw a lot in my community growing up. Those are what people was wearing, maybe even some dunks thrown in, but mainly 3s, 11s, 8s, and 5s was what I mainly saw. So that's what I have nostalgia for. Air Force Ones, you know, the late 90s, early 2000 Air Force Ones, those are nostalgic for me. But the 85 cut Air Jordan 1, not nostalgic for me, but I do have an appreciation for the shoe. But back to the 85 cut, some of the differences between this and Jordan 1s that come out now, the Air Jordan 1 High, are pretty noticeable just on its own. The higher cut ankle, the shape of the toe box. But when you put them side by side, that's when you really start to notice the difference in the proportions and the shape of the sneaker, or at least I did. And one of the first things I noticed when I pulled these out of the box was the weight difference, because I did have a Air Jordan 1 High on hand just because I wanted to see if I was bugging and tripping out, or if this sneaker really was heavier. And it is heavier. They're not weights or anything like that, but it's definitely a noticeable difference. A lot of that weight comes from the outsole and the midsole, but I do think a little bit of it comes from the leather used on this sneaker. The leather is very thick on this release. I've never felt leather used on an Air Jordan 1 that has been this thick, and also the sock liner as well. It's just very like substantial, very thick, and I use that word because I don't want to associate it with it being a negative. It's not the usual tumbled soft leather that we're used to, but that doesn't mean it's bad quality. It feels like really good leather. It's just not what we're used to seeing on the Air Jordan 1s that come out today. These remind me of my Unions. They're not the same materials, but I know that once these are worn in, right out of the box, they're fresh. They look great. But once they're worn in, they're gonna look even better, and I'm gonna get some great wear out of these. Neutral gray may not be one of the most exciting OG colorways, but I'm kind of getting used to Jordan Brand pulling out the reds, the blues, the greens, the purples. So a nice white and gray colorway, just a simple, clean colorway, was a nice break from that. I think they picked the perfect time to bring these back, especially now that people are obsessed with vintage, obsessed with buying old shit that looks new, or new shit that looks old. Yeah, new shit that looks old. They bought these back at just the right time. Neutral gray outsole, smooth white leather on the upper, gray suede for the Nike swoosh and around the collar. These are simple enough that I can wear them with anything. And then you have the details, the blue tint for the tongue, Nike Air branding on there. Then you have the embossed Wings logo that's been painted gray. Don't sleep on the simpler colorways. Color-based Air Jordan 1s are great, but these will still break some necks. So I tried them on, walked around a little bit. As far as sizing, I went true to size. I picked up a size 6. I'll go ahead and show you how to label one time. Is it in focus? There it is, men's size 6. I didn't notice any type of extreme discomfort. There was a little bit of a tightness where the toe box meets the tongue, but other than that, it was pretty usual, and honestly, it wasn't killing my toe or anything like that, and I'm sure it'll loosen up the more I wear these, and they kind of get worn in and just shape around my foot a little bit, so that's not something I'm concerned with. Before I forget, since this is a high 85, you do get the old school hang tag that tells you a little bit about the technology and the sneaker, the air sole, and things like that, with Michael Jordan jumping in the air. So there you go, the old school hang tag, and you also get an extra set of laces, a neutral gray set of laces. If you enjoyed today's review, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are not subscribed already, I have to ask, what are you doing? You are definitely missing out. I upload sneaker reviews, sneaker unboxings, how to styles, all types of other videos all the time, new videos every week. So make sure you go ahead and hit that button. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, show a small YouTuber some love, and I'll check y'all out in the next one.